This is Sensei Buck Snyder. I'm a martial artist, nature lover, and total nerd. Come have fun with Sensei in the Wild.
Alright guys, look. I have a red ear slider right here in my hand. This is a little aquatic turtle. And today the rains were pretty high and this washed this little guy up on the bank. So I'm about to turn him free back into the lake. But if you look, he's called a red ear because he's got a big red circle right there on the side of his head where his ear would be. And they're called a slider. This type of turtle is called a slider because they get up on the bank and they slide right in. They bask in the sun and then they'll slide in when it's time for them to see a predator or time for them to go back in at night. And this little dude's slippery. Caught him though mid-slide. And that's one thing about him. He's covered with algae, which makes him extra slimy. All these turtles in Lake Livingston here, they're always covered with this algae, and it sucks because you don't get to see. This little guy's got a lot of beautiful color on his shell, like this yellow here, but you can't see any of it because it's all covered with this nasty algae. And the algae doesn't hurt him, it's just ugly, and it grows all over him. It looks like fur. Anyway, so we're going to turn him free in this water in just a second. It's a slow process, and it's not worth filming. But anyway, this is a red ear slider. This is a small one. They get much bigger than this, and they start out about the size of a quarter, very tiny. And like I said, they can get huge. Matter of fact, I'll show a video later of a big one, and y'all can see the difference. And look, this little guy's trying to be aggressive right here. And their little mouths are like beaks. They bite you. It's pretty painful, just because their mouth's like a bird beak. All right, guys. So we just showed y'all a young red-eared slider. So this is the shell of a much older red-eared slider, and this turtle has died, but the shell has been left over. And we wanted to show you just real quick some of the features of the shell. I mentioned this before in another video. If you remember my box turtle, the box turtle shell is hinged so the shell can close. If you see this one here, you can actually see that the turtle cannot close its shell. It can pull its hands and its head and its tail and things inside to protect it a little bit within the shell, but it cannot close the shell. So this kind of turtle cannot fully close up. Also, I'd mentioned in that video that some people have this idea that you can take a turtle out of its shell and it can still live. That's not the case. The shell is part of its body. And if you look inside here, you can actually see the spinal column all the way down the back. And so that's the turtle's actual spinal column. So if you try to remove them, you would kill them because they actually need this as part of their body. Okay? And this shell has been sitting out in the sun, so a lot of the colors have faded, and you can still see, though, the cool thing, some of these patterns are still left over here along the edges of the shell, which is really neat. And this shell is so durable, it'll last forever. It's very strong material, almost like bone, but much stronger. So anyway, this was just a large red-ear slider. We commonly call them red-ear turtles, not just red-ear slider. Slider's kind of casual. But anyway, that was the shell, and I just wanted to give you the information to let you know that the shell is part of the turtle and an important part. And one thing too, if y'all see here, it's hard. It's hard because it sits out in the sun. And if it's got to harden as the turtle gets older. If he doesn't, he'll get sick and die. Okay? Okay guys, we're back, and I'm going to show a new segment today that I'm hoping to add to future videos called 15 Facts in 15 Seconds. And today we're talking about the red ear slider. So I'm going to read 15 facts about the red ear slider and do it all within 15 seconds. Okay, here we go. Live 20-40 years in the wild. Females are bigger than males. Can't swallow food out of the water. Bask in the sun for heat. Lay up to 30 eggs. Spread because of pet trade. Extremely invasive species. Banned in Europe. Banned in Australia. About to be banned in Japan. Cannot close their shells. They're omnivorous. Grow up to 16 inches long. Stay underwater 30 minutes. And they sleep underwater. Woo, there you have it. All right. As I always say, keep it wild.